Welcome! It's Facts You Don't Know. If it's your first time here and you want to find out new facts that will definitely make you smarter and more, well, and first make sure to subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss anything.
Inheritance must be a good bond with our ancestors. Why most people act greedily with inherited people or their belongings. Such an old woman that relatives abandoned in the hospital because they thought that she'd not be able to resist her weakness, and she had only a few days before she'd gone. But what happened after that surprised her relatives and everyone who followed her majestic story, which consider a great lesson for everyone. Watch the story with us to the end. Relatives left the sick grandmother alone, but after a year they did not recognize her. Each family has its own rules and laws. This story about a very strange family was told to me by my grandfather when I came to visit him. The grandmother tried to continue her life in a normal way, taking care of his garden, planting vegetables, some crops, and raising livestock. And she did not care about her, because she lost hope that they would return to live with her. A grandmother was barely walking on her feet, but children always came to her and helped her in the garden. Next, her house there was a large greenhouse, which once grew a lot of vegetables and fruits. The woman had a prosperous business, and all the villagers always helped her. But how she got there is a very strange story. One day, the grandmother fell ill and was unable to leave the house. Fortunately, her neighbor, Teresa, who's considered her best friend, kept taking care during those difficult days. One day in the summer, a very beautiful young woman called Beatrix came to the grandmother's house and kept knocking on the door. Then the neighbor called her and asked her what she wanted. And when the young woman told her that she was the granddaughter of the grandmother and that they'd come to check on her, the neighbor was very happy. She called Sarah from the window and asked her to open the door. Beatrix is a beautiful young woman, and she wants to become a famous fashion designer in the future. But it takes large funds to start her project, which made her look for a way to get this money from her grandmother, who was sick as she came from the city, to pretend that she takes care of her, and she gets her inheritance later. The grandmother opened the door. She was amazed when she saw her beauty granddaughter Beatrix. She'd changed so much during the 10 years that she'd not seen her. The grandmother was overjoyed to learn that her granddaughter had come to stay with her for some weeks, since it was summer vacation, and that she'd help her with housework. The grandmother used to spend most of her day with the young woman Beatrix, telling her what had happened with her in the past. While the young woman listened carelessly, she was only asking about money she owned and the land and livestock she wanted to sell. The grandmother noticed that her granddaughter did not come to live with her, but she came for the sake of her inheritance. Well, she waited for the moment when her health worsened and dies to inherit it, and she called her friend Teresa and told her what she had noticed, when the neighbor warned her and felt sorry for this young woman. The grandmother told her granddaughter that the doctor told her she was in good condition, and she wanted her to stay with her in the country house permanently and help her with her work that she does there, and she assured her that she did not have money because she spent all the money that she earned for treatment during the 10 years that she spent alone in her home. The young woman was shocked by her grandmother's words, as she refused her offer completely and was angry, and told her that she would leave for the city because she had a life there. Beatrix backed to the city and did not call her grandmother again, and as the days passed, the grandmother's condition worsened, and Teresa was taking her to the doctor. When Sarah Isabel Lopez died, she left a will to prove that she left all her property to her neighbor, including the large amount of money that she kept in the bank, and recommended that her children not get anything. Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video in social networks. We'll be right back to you as fast as we can.